And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at the expansion for Lords of Vegas called Lords of Vegas Up. This is Lords of Vegas, which is a great game, a game I really enjoyed about building casinos and trying to build the coolest and biggest casinos that provided the most money. Lords of Vegas Up, which has nothing to do with tying balloons to your casino, but is instead actually about building your casinos up. Adds extra players and more. Let's take a look. Okay, the first thing that this game does is it gives us two more player colors, both black and purple. So if you want just new colors to play, you have that, but you also can play up to 5 to 6 players. Now for those of you thinking, wow, 5 to 6 players, the board was already pretty crowded with 4. Well, we'll get to that in a second, but first I want to mention that the game also comes with some extra paper money for these extra players, which you should immediately place in the garbage and play with some other alternative because paper money is terrible. But that's not what this expansion is about. It's called Up for a reason. Let's look at why. Up comes with a whole pile of these riser tiles. These tiles have different artwork on them, but they're all essentially the same thing. The artwork, which is cool, shows the different floors of a casino. Here, take a closer look at one of them. You can see how they have the little table and stuff on it. And I like that. It's a pretty cool idea. These are used over the course of the game. Players now have the option, as they're putting out their casinos and such, you have the option now of raising a casino, making the casino higher. You simply will take one of these risers, stick it underneath the tile, and raise it up higher. The die is still on the top, the die doesn't change a thing. This action cost $15, or $15 million, I guess. Now, this is a big deal because when you do this, this is now a level 2 casino. It's essentially the same thing as if someone had a casino like this. These are the exact same. Now, if you have a casino that's a different level than the original one, these are not connected. These are two different casinos. They have to be the same height. But if yellow managed to add a level to this one, then both players would have to re-roll the dice like normal rules, and this casino would be connected. If you would like to raise a casino that has more than one spot on it, like this one or that one, for example, you would have to pay $15 million for each one. So if I want to raise this again, I would have to pay $30 million to do so. But now this is a level 6 red casino. This solves the problem for a 5 to 6 player game because now instead of expanding all over the place, you can expand up. Now, raising a level of a casino is very expensive, but it's useful because when this casino scores, yellow is going to get 6 points. The deal is, though, it doesn't increase the money a casino provides. So this casino is still going to give $4 to yellow and 3 to red, but when it scores, yellow is going to get 6 points. So is Up worth getting? Well, I think the thing here about Up to realize is that it adds a cool concept. It lets you build your casinos up, and it's neat. But I don't know that it's worth getting if you plan to keep your experience with 3 or 4 players. With 3 players, Up is just too open at this point. The competition you can build up or you can build out, it's kind of, you're almost non-existent. Now, some people may enjoy this, and you may want to get Up if you don't like that constant in your neighbor's face. If you want the game to be less cutthroat, then Up with 3 players is great, and even with 4, there's a whole lot less competition. With 5 or 6 players now, the game is very manageable because you can now build in all different directions, and 5 and 6 would be incredibly crowded on this board, and it still is crowded while building up, but this mitigates it. Now, 6 seems like it's too many. I haven't played with 6. I played with 5, and that felt like just the right amount to play with. And I like that a lot, and I think, there's a lot of times you want to play a 5-player game. And so I think the game is cool in that regard. And the Up thing is really interesting because you can build a really tall single casino, like a skyscraper tower, which is great. It can get you a lot of points, but it doesn't get you a lot of money. Building a bigger, sprawling casino brings you in more money. So the way that people trade now and the money and gambling, by the way, there was a minor gambling change from the first edition that they fixed in this one, where basically gambling is now where you can, if someone is gambling at your place, you can have the house help you. And that's no longer an optional rule, it's an actual rule. So anyhow, I like this expansion. I do not think it's necessary, although I'm certainly going to play with it because I would like to play this with 5 players. But if you were very content with 3 or 4 players and you like the cutthroat nature, this is not for you. But if you want to make it less cutthroat, or you want to add more players, then this is a really cool idea, at least, and it's visually stimulating to see the different casinos go up in the air. So that's up.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Would you please shut the door?
Yeah.